What's up? What's up? What's up, people? I'm back. Still feeling a little bit, with the throat sounding a little crazy, but I'm happy to be here. And welcome to Humanity Unplugged podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon, and we're going to do it again. Now, I'd like to give out a shout out and thanks to everyone on all social media platforms who's been tuning in. It's really appreciated to see all the comments, and a lot of people just hit me up telling me they watch the podcast and listen to the podcast. For those of you who don't have Apple Podcast streaming, you can check us out on YouTube on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or really Wednesdays and Fridays, and you can check out the episodes and see what's going on with us and what's going on in the news. We go over everything. So last episode, it was about predators. This week, we're going over world news, and it's a lot of intricate things we need to talk about within world news, because I'm not seeing the attention that's needed for some of the topics that are going across America today. And there's a lot of great topics, and we're not going over it. And I don't know why America is not focusing on it. Maybe because the topics I'm talking about interferes with your pockets, interferes with pharmaceutical or medical. And a lot of people don't like to talk about that because our country's based off in medical, pharmaceutical, having diseases, but not a lot of cures. So today we're going to talk about sickle cell and how it affects the body. And while I'm here, let me talk about it a little bit. Sickle cell affects 85 to 90% of African Americans. It affects all nationalities, but it definitely hits the African American people more. And what it does is you're born with less amount of red blood cells, and the blood cells you have become very rigid. And when it hits your blood vessels, it clog up your blood vessels. So the lack of oxygen reaches your vessels and stuff like that, you go in pain. It creates a lot of pain. And you're born with this, and it's genetically in your genes. And until recently, they had no cure for this. So sickle cell been around, I believe, I'm not mistaken, probably 1969 or before. It's been around 1919. I'm not for sure. It's been around, and we haven't had a cure for it. We haven't really stressed out and really put out the money to find a cure for it. It's just something, it's almost like having asthma. There's no real cure for asthma. They just give you more medication to take. And when you get an asthma attack, they send you right to the hospital to get on a machine, get your oxygen back. Okay, you're good. Okay, bye-bye. It's no real cure for it. So similar to that, as in we don't have a cure for it until now. So, excuse me, there's a young kid out in Long Island. He went through some different genetic trials and tribulations. He's not the first one. Actually, it happened a year ago. Female was one of the first ones who did it. And this kid did it out in Long Island, and he cured himself by asking them to use his genetic bone marrow and infused it. And they did what they did. And lo and behold, he's cured. Someone in North Carolina did it as well. They're cured. So now the cure is coming out on how to take care of and how to get rid of sickle cell. And it's amazing because we take things for granted, like drinking ice water, cold soda, cold lemonade. When they do that, it causes their body to just act up tremendously. So cold fluids and things of such, they can't deal with. But we do it every day normally like it's nothing. So sickle cell has been a pain in the butt for a lot of families, but just kept on the low, almost like just getting, like I said before, asthma treatment. So we're going to talk about that today. We're also going to talk about um, Trump. We're going to talk about Trump and what he did. Today is March the 17th. This will be aired tomorrow, which will be Tuesday, the 18th. And he decided to go to war with Houthi. And these people that run Houthi is they run the Red Sea. What you don't know and what they're not going to tell you on the video you're about to hear and about information you're about to receive, they don't tell you why exactly Trump is going to war with them. And I agree with Trump. Let me just formally say that of him going to war because this affects our shipping and trade and how it affects our pocket. Because the people who they terrorize the Red Sea. The Red Sea is a huge sea. It's connected several parts of Israel and things as such. Africa is all connected. And the problem that we're having with this is that they monitorize things that hit the Red Sea. So if you send important stuff through the Red Sea, they get a hold of it, they terrorize, they take the stuff, and now we got even further delays. So what's been happening over the years, America and also all the rest of the people that in the trades over there in Israel and Africa, they send the ships in the opposite direction, which actually take them an extra 4 to 5 days to reach their destination and causes us money because they don't want to go over the Red Sea because who dad is there who's terrorizing the area. So when Trump decided to drop some bombs on them, and we're going to continue to drop bombs on them, that's a good thing because it lets them know you're not going to bully our waters. We're going to be able to go where we want to go with shipments, and things are going to be able to be delivered through water the way it should be without being delayed and without you guys trying to tax something that's free like the water over the ocean. So that's a good thing. And I agree with Trump doing that. We're going to go over that today. We're going to also go over the weather. I don't know if you guys know, but March Madness doesn't just go for NCAA basketball. It's also for the weather that we get in March. It's madness. And as I'm going to show you and talk to you about Kansas, 8 people died in Kansas, 50 vehicles piled up in a dust storm out there. Missouri got 16 deaths, 60,000 power outages out there. All happened yesterday. Everything I'm telling you took place last night in all these states. Oklahoma had 130 wildfires. 300 homes are burnt to a crisp. 300,000, I think, homes are burnt to a crisp in Oklahoma. Texas, 3 died in Texas. Mississippi had 6 deaths, and only 3 people are missing out of Mississippi. Alabama got 18,800 outages in Alabama. Georgia, Georgia had a whole state of emergency declared, and it had 29,000 outages in Georgia. Arkansas, 3 dead, 3 died in Arkansas last night. North Carolina just had 44,000 people power outages, and this is altogether 250,000 people without power today from the weathers, tornadoes, wildfires, dust storms, and things that took place in several states. And all this happened yesterday. So I want you to know, guys, that March Madness and our weather that goes on in March is crazy. Despite we have planes falling out the sky for no apparent reason, despite we had Helen that hit Asheville, despite California fires, despite all the immigrants that were returning overseas, despite all the federal programs that Trump is closing, despite We don't have eggs around the country, despite the bird flu is rising all over, despite Ebola might be back, despite everything that what's going on in our society, yet we live. And yet we strive to have more life, more abundantly. God is still in charge. So despite everything that we're talking about, we're still somewhat doing okay. We made it another Tuesday for you guys to listen to Humanity Unplugged podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon, and you're here. And despite everything that's going on in our lives, we're able to find some type of courage to move forward each and every day, despite what goes on in our world. So we're doing okay. It might not seem like it, you might not seem that you're making progress, but you are. Each and every day, we're making progress. Things are not the same, things are changing, but we're still here. So we're going to get into our first video, and I want to share with you guys a few things in our first video. And I think our first video is going to be, let's see, what should we do? Let's do the storm first. Let's talk about the storm. Let's get that out the way and let people see what's going on. Here we go.
And a monster storm tore through the central and southern United States, leaving a trail of destruction, power outages, and heartbreak in its wake. Tornadoes ripped apart homes, wildfires consumed entire communities, and blinding dust storms turned highways into death traps, all in a matter of hours. With at least 36 lives lost and millions affected, the storm's sheer force was nothing short of catastrophic. Here's more from the deadly scene.
I didn't think it was going to be this bad because we've been through storms before, but nowhere near close to this at all. Especially the time we spent our entire lives in Georgia, we've never experienced a type of thunderstorm like this at all.
A powerful storm unleashed a wave of destruction across the central and southern United States. The storm claimed at least 36 lives and left a trail of destruction spanning multiple states. The storm brought a deadly mix of violent tornadoes, raging wildfires, and blinding dust storms. Missouri, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, and Georgia bore the brunt of the tornadoes, leaving entire neighborhoods in ruins. Oklahoma was set ablaze with over 130 wildfires burning through almost 698 square kilometers. Kansas and Texas faced hazardous driving conditions as intense dust storms led to multi-vehicle pileups and fatalities.
The whole town's been basically impacted because we have several businesses here in Bakersfield that have lost their businesses, that they're damaged, the roofs are off, damage to windows, and that's not counting the residences here. As you can see behind me, there's a lot of people today that are looking for a place to land after something like this.
Among the hardest hit states, Missouri suffered at least 12 fatalities. In Mississippi, Governor Tate Reeves confirmed 6 deaths, with at least 3 people still missing. In Kansas, 8 people lost their lives in a 50-vehicle crash caused by thick dust clouds.
I just want to let you know, guys, talking about this is nothing like living through something like this. Could you imagine you getting up Sunday and then Monday is total chaos? It's just crazy. Everything is everything. Your life is not normal anymore. Your roof got a big hole in it, damages all around you. How do you get around that? How do you focus on where your next this light is coming from? What do? I'm quite sure, they made announcements prior trying to tell people state of emergency, you need to evacuate, blah, 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 bloom, blah, blah, blah. I'm quite sure that was there, but you're never prepared to see carnage and devastation by nature the way you have it. And sometimes it's just nothing you can do but sit there and just thank God that you're here another day to grow and get better and perhaps start over. In some cases, there's no start over.
In Arkansas, a state of emergency was declared after 3 people died. 3 people also died in Texas as dust storms created dangerous driving conditions. As the storm barreled east, Georgia Governor Brian Kemp also declared a state of emergency, while Alabama reported multiple casualties and power outages. The most alarming wildfire outbreak occurred in Oklahoma, where over 130 blazes scorched vast areas, destroying nearly 300 homes. Nearly 250,000 customers were left without electricity across multiple states as strong winds downed power lines. Missouri reported 60,000 outages, while North Carolina suffered from 44,000 outages. 29,000 outages were reported in Georgia, with 18,800 in Alabama. Tens of thousands more were affected in Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee. Meteorologists say such extreme weather events are not uncommon in March, but the sheer scale and variety of destruction this storm system unleashed is staggering. Spring storms often bring a mix of tornadoes, wildfires, and windstorms due to shifting weather patterns. However, climate change may be amplifying the severity of these storms, making destruction more widespread and unpredictable. As rescue efforts continue and communities begin to assess the damage, the long road to recovery is just beginning. Families who lost their homes and loved ones face an uncertain future, while emergency responders and local governments work to restore power, clear debris, and provide aid.
There you have it, people. What's crazy about this is I wonder if FEMA is going to jump in. I wonder if our president is going to stop by and say, hey, listen, we can take care of this. Let's just cut it right quick. Let's get it done. It's not that crazy that we can't get it done. It is possible, we can definitely get it done. We just have to get in it, get evaluation done, see what we need, and then go from there. Hopefully, we can do such a thing. But a lot of times our president is focused on other countries. He's focused on other things. And the home is the last place he checks out. Well, I'm going to give you this article now, guys. Check this out. This is about the sickle cell. It's pretty good.
Therapy treatment changes the life of a Long Island man battling sickle cell disease. The 21-year-old becomes the first New Yorker to undergo the procedure. Fox 8's Jody Goldberg talked to him about what it's like being pain-free for the first time in his life.
Sebastian Bazil has 2 birthdays, one to recognize the day he was born and now another to celebrate a medical milestone.
Sickle cell was like a blockade for me. Now it's just like a wall that I just jumped over.
The 21-year-old was born with sickle cell anemia. It's an inherited blood disorder marked by malformed red blood cells that cause tissue and organ damage.
I always had to deal with pain crises. If I could do something, if I can't do something.
Kind of cool, huh? But thanks to a breakthrough sickle cell gene therapy treatment, doctors at Cohen Children's Medical Center deemed him disease-free.
The patient is their own drug. You start with their damaged cells, you then fix them, and then after conditioning the patient to receive them, you give them back.
Roughly 600 children with sickle cell disease are being treated here at Cohen Children's. Doctors say approximately 100,000 people are living with it in the United States and millions more in the world.
The cliche, the future is here, is actually true in this case.
The life-altering therapy eliminates the need for a stem cell transplant, which can also cure the disease, but is risky and requires finding the right donor. This medical advancement promising news to those suffering from the disease.
We know that 75% of Caucasians will find a match in the registry, and only 25% of the Black population will find a match.
Sebastian, who called the hospital his second home because of how often he was there, can now live a normal life. He plans to go to the gym and travel.
There is not enough word to show you how grateful I am.
He also plans to pursue a future in medicine as a way to say thank you to the team that saved his life.
I feel
People, you see it. You heard it. They said that there's 25% chance for sickle cell match for African American and 75% for Caucasians. So it's not uncommon for white people to get it, and they find a match in stem cells for them, and they take care of business with that. But it's not the same for African American. So over 100,000 people, millions across the country has it. Excuse me. And it's something we need to address. And it's something kind of simple in a way, because they just showed you what they did. They took your own blood cells, froze it, changed it around, gave it back to you. Bam, bam, bam. We okay now. It works. So if they can do this, it'd be very helpful throughout the country that we can get some of these cures out there. Why we got to have so many diseases but so less cures? Why is that possible? How is that possible? I went to CVS with my health coverage recently, and I had to get some prescriptions done. And the man was like, nah, you can't use this. You got to have another prescription. And I gave him my other card, and he said, this is your health insurance card, not your prescription card. So, I went in my wallet as normal. I looked around, thought to myself, what's going on? And as I went on the 1-800 number, found out that the coverage I have don't have prescriptions. That's crazy. Now, I have a couple of coverages, but this particular coverage I use didn't have a prescription coverage. So I told the lady on the phone, I'm canceling this right away. This doesn't even make sense, because this is what America has done. It's okay for foreigners to get coverage. It's okay for people that's not citizens to have health plans. But our own people, we suffer from this right here, not having proper health coverage. Because some way down the line, they done cut something or did something, and you're not aware of it. And if you didn't have backup coverage or other coverage, you'll be stuck. So this happens all the time. And it happens to seniors. It happens to youth, young people. You have to constantly check and look into your health coverage and make sure you got the proper coverage, so that way you're covered in case of emergency. You don't want to wait until something happens, So it's crazy. And here it is. What if that family that has sickle cell, they're in the hospital out of 52 weeks of a year, they're in the hospital 22 weeks out of a year. Can you imagine the health bill? It's crazy. So we have to look into making sure we have these things like health coverage. We have the necessities that we need in case of a crisis, or in case if anything could happen. We need to make sure we got it. So it's great to hear that that child and some other people will be cured of sickle cell, and further people will be cured for sickle cell. We're going to talk about this at a later note, but let's talk about what Trump did overseas. Here we go.
Hezbollah command center and several other buildings in southern Lebanon Sunday night in response to gunfire from Lebanon, as the IDF says Hezbollah continues to violate the ceasefire agreement. Meanwhile, the Houthis in Yemen have vowed more attacks against Israel and the United States following a fresh round of U.S. strikes on the terror group.
The U.S. Central Command confirmed a second set of strikes against Yemen's Houthis overnight on Sunday, vowing to continue until the group halts attacks on international shipping. A video released by the U.S. military showed fighter jets taking off, though the location and date were unverified. The Houthi-run health ministry reported at least 53 people killed in the strikes, marking the largest U.S. military action in the region since Donald Trump's presidency. According to reports, the chief of security of the Houthis leader was reportedly killed in the strikes. Meanwhile, the Houthis have threatened a new round of attacks against the United States and Israeli targets. Last week, the Houthis said they would resume attacks against Israeli targets, citing solidarity with Hamas in Gaza.
So now we know the Houthis, excuse me, guys, this is all over international waters, like I said, and transporting goods through the international waters. They want to control the Red Sea and what comes in and what comes out, and they want peace of it. So Trump said, the hell with that. We're not having that. We're going to knock you guys clear out the water. We're going to do it, and we're going to continue to bomb you guys, whether you like it or not. So if I was you guys, I'll take another look at what you might want to do later on, because this ain't gonna work here, because we're gonna continue to drop bombs, and that's what Trump's gonna do. And I don't blame them, because they shouldn't bully the water there. We all using that water to transport goods. All states, countries, we're all using the Red Sea. It's right there. We're gonna use it. Why you guys want dibs on that? No, tear them up, because we got to be able to trade goods. We got to be able to live, to exist. Now, I don't see why this took so long. This supposed to have been done back when Biden. I'm sorry. It's the truth. Biden should have took care of this a long time ago, because it was going on back then. It was going on. So we should have took care of it. I'm glad he's going to do it. I'm glad he's going to take care of it. That's one thing I do like about Trump. On certain things he does take care of. It's a great thing. Just like anyone that's paying child support should be able to claim their kid at the end of the year. If you're paying child support for your child, why can't you claim them? I don't understand that. That's been going on for years. The woman get the money and she claims the kid too. Ridiculous. But that's how they had it. And what they do with the money? Let some of them, they got homes overseas, let some tell you. Some got all the bags in the world, clothes in the world. I'm just saying, this is what's going on. The kid is not getting the money. We got to stop and start to unravel this chaos. Anyway, guys, this is Jermaine McCrimmon from Humanity Unplugged podcast. We're here. We ain't going nowhere. I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in with us once more and again. Please check us out on all social media platforms. And guys, if you have anything you want me to discuss, anyone you want me to interview, please the email's on the bottom, info@humanityunplugged.co.site. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, guys, stay safe.